all about Srila Prabhupada, his order, his instruction to me, personally. So I'm following that instruction. It's very interesting. You know, the people who say that Srila Prabhupada wanted Ritviks and all of this, and we don't need any spiritual master, we can just take shelter of Srila Prabhupada's books and like that. They don't have any personal connection with Srila Prabhupada. They don't have any direct personal instructions from Srila Prabhupada. They never lived in Vrindavan and served Srila Prabhupada directly like I did. I used to arrange Srila Prabhupada's daily preaching programs in towns in and around the Braj area in India. That was my service. I would go and set up these programs, and then Prabhupada would go and preach. Then I would go to the next town, set up another program, and like that. And Srila Prabhupada got to comment on my service several times, and he was very pleased. He never chastised me, which I find is remarkable. I mean, the most that Prabhupada chastised me was when I wanted to learn Bengali. I asked him, can I learn Bengali so I can appreciate the Caitanya-caritāmṛta in the original language? And he said, no. No, whatever you know, or whatever skills you have, when you come to Krishna consciousness, you should just employ those in the service, and there's no need to learn additional things. See? Well, my godbrothers, they became university professors. They got PhDs from Harvard and schools like that. Why do they do that? They didn't need to do that. They could just take what they learned from Srila Prabhupada and be very successful preachers. That's what I did. That's what so many other devotees did. And they were very nice preachers. Hansadutta, for example, before he got all blown out with being a false guru, he was doing very, very nice preaching in South India and Ceylon, Sri Lanka now. Just by what he read in Srila Prabhupada's books. He didn't have any degree, he didn't have any qualification except what he learned from his guru. And that's really all we need. So if we follow Guru, we will be equipped with everything that we need to be a success both in the material world and in spiritual life. I'm the example. I built a whole career, very, very well-paid career in writing by what I learned from editing Srila Prabhupada's books in the BBT. And Prabhupada gave me that blessing. See, so when the spiritual master gives a blessing, it's also not only spiritually beneficial, it's also materially beneficial. And the devotee gets what they need to do their service in the material world and ultimately approach Krishna in the spiritual world. All from the Guru's blessing. You don't need anything outside of that. I never went to college a day for writing. I was a musician. So all this definitely came from Srila Prabhupada's blessing. There's no doubt about it. And you can also do the same by taking shelter of Guru. So, are there any questions or discussion? Pass the mic, please.
Hare Krishna. There is a question from Mother Swati. Please accept my humble obeisances, Babaji. My question is related to the differences between Vaishnavas and Brahmins. Does a Vaishnava transcend Varnas? If so, please help me understand why the goal is to produce 10, 12 Brahmins and not all Vaishnavas.
A Vaishnava is automatically a Brahmin. That's stated in Shastras. And Srila Prabhupada also demonstrated this by coming to the West and taking so many people who had Brahminical talents, but who had absolutely no background, and training them and making them into Brahmanas. Very nice, first-class Brahmanas. So anyone who becomes a Vaishnava can automatically perform all the duties of a bona fide Brahmana. But a Brahmana is not necessarily a Vaishnava. There are many Brahmanas who are Shaivites, who are impersonalists, or who are even materialists. So we want to create Vaishnavas, but we want to create Vaishnavas with Brahminical qualifications. Not just sentimental Vaishnavas, not just political Vaishnavas, and not just Shudra Vaishnavas who can only work and follow orders, but can't think for themselves or they don't have any higher knowledge or skills. No, we want first-class Vaishnavas. So that automatically includes the qualification of Brahmana. That means we want to educate people in Vedic skills, arts, philosophy, music, all these things, culture in general. Because without Brahmanas, you cannot have Varnashram Dharma. You cannot have actual Vedic society. And this is the problem. If you go to India today, you see they have a phony Varnashram. Phony Varnashram based on birth. But where does it say in Vedic scriptures that Varna comes from birth? No, it doesn't say anywhere. Krishna says, Chatur Varnyam Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. I created these 4 Varnas based on a person's quality, guna, and their work, their karma. So guna means the 3 modes of material nature. And this is how the 4 Varnas are analyzed in Bhagavad-gītā, chapter 17 and 18. Krishna talks about the difference between Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra based on the 3 modes of material nature. Brahmana means he's in the mode of goodness. Kshatriya means mode of passion. Vaishya means mode of passion and ignorance. And Shudra is in ignorance. All these can be Vaishnavas, but what level of Vaishnava? See? First class Vaishnava means actually beyond Brahmana, greater than Brahmana. Bhakti Vedanta, Sarvabhauma. Okay, this is first class Vaishnava. Kshatriya can also be Vaishnava, but because Kshatriya is involved in administration and economic management, then he cannot perform so many duties of the Vaishnava like education, temple worship, and so on. You see? A first-class Kshatriya actually has the Brahminical qualifications. He has the sacred thread, he has the Gayatri mantra, he can read Sanskrit, he's studied all the philosophical conclusions of the Vedas, and so on. But he also has this other side of action. He has a strong mode of passion, and he likes to engage in practical actions. Of course, the Brahmana also does practical work, but that work is more along the lines of education, temple worship, philosophy, writing, and like that. The Vaishya, he's mixed mode of passion and ignorance. He likes to work, he likes to be rewarded for that work. He likes to get the results, and then perform sacrifices and worship and stuff like that. But he also likes to enjoy. So there's some ignorance because of bodily identification and sense gratification. And then Shudras, their whole aim in life is simply sense gratification, and they can't really understand. We see a lot of devotees on this level. First of all, if someone is more than Shudra, they have their own independent business. If someone accepts employment, if someone accepts service, that means Shudra, automatically. Shudra, the name of Shudra really means one who is lamenting. One who laments. Anyone who's engaged in the service of another person, especially if that person is not qualified, if they're a rascal, it certainly has a lot of cause for lamentation. So, first thing, if you don't want to be accepted as Shudra, if you want to be something more than Shudra, is you have to have your own business. You cannot be an employee, you cannot be servant of others. Especially you cannot serve materialistic people. There's clearly prohibited in Shastra that a devotee should never serve a materialistic person. Should never associate with, as the word, the precise terminology is, people with wicked minds. So if a devotee is serving a wicked person, how can he be a pure devotee? He's always going to have to compromise to save his position. So if a devotee is serving wicked persons, then he can only be the lowest fourth-class devotee, and it can't really qualify for initiation or, to be a teacher or preacher of devotional service. He can't even be a full-time practitioner because of all of these compromises he has to make. So then who is a third-class devotee? A real third-class devotee means